And we begin learning Mesilas Yesharim Yomi once again. Today we're going to begin the second Perek, Baruch Hashem. 2 weeks in, who would have thought 2 weeks ago? Many of us just started a few minutes a day, and here we are, 2 weeks later, thousands of Yidden, Baruch Hashem, learning Mesilas Yesharim, and we're already beginning the second Perek. I have here my trusty Hachzik, Mesilas Yesharim, Hachzik.com. Get it yours today. And here we go, says the Mesilas Yesharim, Inyan Azirasu. What is the Inyan of Zechirus? And as we saw, this is the first rung on this ladder of Rav Pinchas ben Yair, after we clarified in the first chapter how important it is to get on to this ladder. The importance of why we're here in this world, knowing that our goal is the next world. And this world is here, that even though we have everything pulling us in all different ways, we got to keep ourselves focused to get to that magnet to attach ourselves to the Creator. We begin with the first rung, which is Zechirus, which is vigilance. So what is the essence, page 43 of Zechirus? She'adam nizar b'ma'aseh binyan, of a person should be careful in all his actions. Koloimar, meaning to say, mizboinin u'mefakeach al ma'aseh v'drachav. So important. You have to think, turn on the brain, contemplate all the actions you do. Are they good or not? So that you don't lose your nefesh to be extinct. Another such an important line. And you should not walk like a blind man in the dark. The double language. Not only are you blind, but you're in the dark. But why are you like that? Because you're going with your habit, with your hergel, you're going by rote, you're a robot. And that's why you're like the blind man in the dark. And he continues, now this, what we're discussing, to look at your deeds, is something that your intellect, that brain of yours, knows it has to be. For once a person has discernment and intellect, to run away from things that could destroy his neshama. How do you think that you could save yourself if you're not going to think about it? There's certainly nothing lower and no other something crazy than this. And someone who does this, someone just lives his life like a robot on this treadmill without thinking about anything. It's a strong statement of the Ramchal. You're lower than the animals and beasts. Because even an animal, his teva, his very nature, is to guard himself. He doesn't do something that's going to kill himself. And he runs away for anything that could potentially harm him. Continues the Mesilas Yesharim. But someone who goes to this world without thinking whether it's good or bad for him, God forbid, he's like a blind person walking on the edge of a riverbank. The sakana is very great. And it's quicker that he's going to fall. His misfortune is quicker than his salvation. This is the correct analogy, says Mesilas Yesharim. Because when you don't watch, whether it's because you're Ivra Nativi, God forbid, you're naturally blind, or maybe because you made yourself blind by not looking. Shutting your eyes, anything that can harm you, it's the same. Whether God created the person blind, or whether he closes his eyes and walks and thinks he's not going to fall, it's the same danger. And he continues, and we conclude for today. Yirmiyahu Hanavi already taught us about the evils, the corruption of his generation. It's because they were afflicted with this issue, this problem that we're talking about today. The terrible plague of not looking at that which you do. Without paying attention to that which they do. Should they do something? Should they not? They didn't look at what they did. And what did Yirmiyahu Hanavi say to them? Something, God forbid, we can apply to all too many of us before Hafzik. Before spending time learning Mesilas Yesharim, just running our lives without thinking about the actions. No man relents of his evil, saying, Kulo shavim rutzam kisus What have I done? Like a horse racing in a war. They're running along in their habits, in their ways, like that robot. But the robot, without being programmed, just running the mad dash. Without thinking about their deeds and their ways. They're going to fall into evil without even noticing it. How careful we have to be. He says in Mesilas Yesharim, the first rung, Zehirus, is what? To stop, to look around, to take notice, to think about that which we do. Or else, God forbid, we could be included in these terrible words of Yirmiyahu Hanavi, that we're going to fall into evil, fall into sin, without even noticing it. Have a wonderful day.